Hey guys, Nick here. Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the next WWE story, part one of two. What if John Cena beat Austin Theory at WrestleMania? Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick, this channel, the main channel, and all other channels promoting all Omniverse of Nick content. And be sure to catch up on any story, posts, or videos, or anything you've missed. With all that said, let's get started. So, if you guys are not familiar, basically for WrestleMania 39, John Cena was challenged by Austin Theory for the World United States Championship. I know that was kind of weird how I said that. And basically, it was a thing of Austin Theory being like, oh, disappointed in my hero, and John Cena tried to reject him and told him that he wasn't ready. And we all know what happened after. So, what happened was John Cena would fight Austin Theory very good, but Austin Theory would pull his dumb little tricks and be a heel and basically rig the match to make sure that he won. But he did not, and still does not, get the respect he thinks he deserves for beating John Cena because of the way he did it, and just because John Cena was right. Nobody liked him, and still debatable. Talented, but like Logan Paul, just a huge ego. That's why they're in the vision. But what if that was changed? What if Austin Theory actually lost and John Cena became United States champion at WrestleMania? What if John Cena beat Austin Theory at WrestleMania 39? Would Austin Theory go down a different route? And if so, how would that happen? And since John Cena was still main Hollywood 2 years before his retirement tour, how would this impact things? And what would become of him as a wrestler? That's what we're going to answer today. So, we get to WrestleMania 39, and the match goes almost exactly the same. But when John Cena goes for the final A and the five knuckle shuffle, he connects both, but instead of going for an attitude adjustment, he goes for a GTS. And it's funny because Survivor Series would be lingering around the corner of 2023 in CM Punk's return. And this would get the entire crowd wild, especially not only because he would use CM Punk's move, but because he used it to end the match. And John Cena is the new United States champion. And little does John or anybody else know that that GTS tribute would be having an effect, as a certain someone would be returning. But Punk's not the feature in this story like the other John Cena ones. But anyways, John Cena is the US champ again, and he says the champ is here and the champ is back. And throws a thumbs up with the US title, walking out of the curtain at WrestleMania. We get to SmackDown and Backlash, and Austin Theory would be fighting Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. But John Cena challenges them with the US Championship and says anyone, just like all those years ago, who wants a shot at the US title, he's bringing back the United States Open Challenge, as he did so long ago. And Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley are the first two opponents in the triple threat with him for it. John Cena throws AA at Bobby Lashley. He picks Bronson up for an AA. He even pulls out a spear, mainly for Bronson Reed, because he knows he has to take the big boy down. And he does, after training, finally winning a title. He knows he's got to stick around longer in WWE, even with his schedule. And he gets them in a double AA. And a five knuckle shuffle, and he retains the title. But since he's out of sorts even after training, this took almost everything he had. And now he's looking to who will challenge him next. Of course, Bobby Lashley would take out his anger, or even Bronson Reed, after losing to John Cena. John Cena is then approached by Rey Mysterio, who challenges him next for the title. And they have a very good match, trading each other's moves. But then John Cena does something nobody would have expected. He pulls a jackhammer. Yes, I know. I have done this with my WWE stories where I just basically throw the wrestlers using other moves like WWE 2K games. But it's just a way of portraying them in the story and just to create awesome moments for you guys. So yes, John Cena does a jackhammer. And it's also symbolic as to in the John Cena Never Going to Hollywood story, I had John Cena and Goldberg go head to head multiple times for the US Championship also. But anyways, yeah, he pulls the jackhammer. No spear, though. So literally just the jackhammer to end the match. And yeah, he retains the title again and looks to new opponents. And then LA Knight pins Rey Mysterio to be the number one contender for the US Championship next. Austin Theory then, with a whole new heel persona, just like he was in the Vision, or he is in the Vision, goes to attack LA Knight as a way to make up for the fact he lost the US belt, the path he's gone on since he lost it, and because he wants to be the one to try to get his title back. But LA Knight just BFTs him, and Ray goes in for a 619. Basically, Ray and LA Knight telling Austin to back off. And LA Knight and John Cena shake hands as to who is John Cena's next opponent for the US belt. Then LA Knight and Miz have their match at Payback, which John Cena still officiates. But in backstage after the match, after all is said and done, Miz faces John Cena and says, "You're not just facing LA Knight for that title. I hope that you know, John, especially after tonight, you've got a big target on your back. And it's not this supposed one-hit wonder LA Knight, because I'll get him too. But John, I beat you in the main event of WrestleMania, and you'd best believe I'm going to not only upstage that upsmart LA Knight, but I'm going to beat you and get that belt from you." So we have something set for a possible triple threat with John, Miz, and LA Knight. What's going to happen? Does Austin Theory even have a story anymore? Will Miz become a 3-time Grand Slam champion and get the United States Championship off of John Cena somehow, some way? Or is LA Knight going to get the belt earlier? And what happens to John next time in the finale? And overall for the progress of this story? Find out next time.
Now be gone from my sight.
Hey guys, Nick here. Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the finale, second part to What If John Cena Beat Austin Theory. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick main channel, this channel, and all the other channels promoting all Omniverse of Nick content. And be sure to catch up on any story, posts, or anything you've missed. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time. John Cena is confronted by Miz after the Payback match that he officiated with LA Knight and Miz Miz says he's coming for the US belt. John Cena dares him and says he's planning on making this a triple threat. Miz can get his shot with LA Knight. LA Knight and Miz get into it with a promo, saying who truly deserves it, but it's truly decided that not only is it going to be a triple threat, but someone else forcing himself in is going to be involved and make it a fatal four-way. Because John Cena really wants a challenge. But who it is, until the day, is not going to be put into everybody else's awareness. It's set for Crown Jewel. Miz throws skull-crushing finales. John Cena throws shoulder tackles, attitude adjustments. But the one who entered the fatal four-way is Solo Sikoa, who at that moment unleashes a Samoan spike. Then a super kick knocks Cena down fully. Miz basically helping Solo. Solo doesn't need his help and goes for a spike on him, but LA Knight knocks him down. And then John Cena goes for an attack, but Solo catches him and goes for a spike and ends the match and becomes United States champion. Miz cuts with promos after promos saying that he helped Solo and that he should be the one to get a match against Solo next. He should have been the one to walk out of Crown Jewel with the United States Championship. Roman confronts Solo about being the new United States champion, and he says, deal with Miz. John Cena and LA Knight are not the problem anymore. Let him and the bloodline worry about them now. Solo's done his part. Now all he needs to focus on is the United States Championship. Miz and Solo have a match, and Miz low blows him, but Solo, he's not done, and he Samoan spikes Miz. But Miz goes for a skull-crushing finale, and then Solo pulls out a spinning Solo, and right whenever Solo's going for the pin, showed that Miz was psyching him out, and he goes for the figure 4 leg lock. And then, after Solo doesn't quit, he goes for another skull-crushing finale, and another figure 4. And after all of that, despite the impossibility stacked against him, Miz walks out as the new United States champion. And also, because of this means that Miz is a 3-time Grand Slam champion. Miz and Logan Paul have a match, and Logan Paul becomes the new United States champ. But he only holds the belt for 2 weeks until LA Knight becomes the first-time world United States champ and takes it from him. After this, we see the timeline begin to formulate itself just like canon. John Cena fights against the Bloodline. Miz would be inducted into the Hall of Fame and likely retire, but he would stay in WWE for at least a little bit, especially to team with R-Truth and be Awesome Truth one final time, and even team with John Cena. Austin Theory would continue down his dark path, including more and more into the Vision. John Cena would begin his retirement tour, and it would go the exact same as it did in canon, except he would be going out on a much better note because of how his last United States title run went and how he got Miz into the Hall of Fame. And then he would return and launch the John Cena Classic and return to host WrestleManias and Backlashes. And all this just means that if John Cena had won that US belt one more time against Austin Theory, it would have elevated him far sooner and far better than his retirement tour did. And it would have ended his story a lot freaking better, just like it would have if he never went to Hollywood. So, this story should speak for itself on the fact that John Cena beating Austin Theory would have elevated him far more than 2023 and 4 did. But, to be fair, 2022 through 4, he was planning his retirement tour. By the way, that rhymed. And that just proves and just goes to show that, like I said, John Cena winning the US belt and bringing meaning to it once again would mean that this bad boy would get far more respect. And who better to give it respect before his time would be up than the greatest of all time? And this belt, it would make Miz a 3-time Grand Slam champion. Perfect to put him in the Hall of Fame. Be with Awesome Truth one more time. Fight with Cena. Fight with LA Knight. It would give LA Knight and Rey Mysterio a match. John Cena one last match with Rey Mysterio. It would give him more matches that he should have had before he retired. And it would have elevated far more careers and far more moments and would have put Austin Theory out to pasture. And that was John Cena's ultimate plan, without anybody even realizing it. So, it just goes to show, one man makes the difference between victory and defeat, and success and failure. And it would just go to show, the greatest of all time, John Cena, would truly be the one to make this title, as he already did, mean more than all the other stars combined. And that's just this guy's opinion. And I think that a lot of people could relate. Had he won against Austin Theory, you'd be looking at the United States Championship a whole lot different. Especially by the time his clock would strike 0 for the most legendary career in professional wrestling. And with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this take for John Cena, The Miz, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, him getting the title early, and just everybody that the United States title elevated. And how it ultimately crushed Austin Theory's career. With that said, only one little story left, and it's going to be a short one. Jeffrey Dahmer and The Walking Dead. Then we get to the next list before the next 2 lists are revealed. And you guys, if you really like this one, the next one, it is going to be one thrill of a time. I'll see you guys then.
Now be gone from my sight.